Statement before this House. It's unfortunate that the Deputy Minister for Finance has just left the chamber. We are debating the budget of the executive. The Minister for Finance is not here. His deputy was here. Right after his submissions, he's Nicodemously sneaked out of the chamber. We would have wished that he would be here to get feedback. And here is why. You know, sometimes when you are in government, you suffer from a certain disease. Any feedback that is given you, you think your job is just to defend. I was information minister. You think your job is just to defend and explain. Sometimes if you listen, you will get free advice that can help you to improve what you are doing. So it will be good that you bring him back into the chamber so that he can listen to the feedback that we are giving to him. He, for example, says that his justification for raising this 49 billion, this phantom 49 billion, is that in 2017 we mentioned arrears of 7 billion. What he forgets is that when we mentioned 7 billion, we did not proceed to adjust the fiscals with that 7 billion. We did not proceed to adjust the national account with that 7 billion and change the primary balance. We proceeded to say it will be audited, and thankfully, a good chunk of those claims were thrown away. What he has done differently, what he and his boss have done differently, is that they have proceeded to adjust the national accounts and adjust the primary balance for numbers that they themselves claim they have not audited. I'm happy he's coming back into the chamber. So the difference is that you have proceeded to adjust the national accounts with figures that you are confessing you have not audited. Who does that? And that is why we are telling you to hasten slowly. Mr. Speaker, he says they have indexed LEAP to inflation. He goes on to say that they have provided dedicated funding for free SHS. Honorable Deputy Minister, you did not index LEAP to inflation. The MPP government that just did indexed LEAP to inflation. You did not do it. You did not do it. Don't take credit for what you haven't done. Also, you claim there was no dedicated funding for free SHS, and you question whether the erudite Abeno Osei-Asare has read the budget. I regret to inform you, you probably haven't read your own budget. You haven't read your own budget. Because if you have read your budget, you will find out that the dedicated funding for free SHS was a goods and services allocation of ABFA. Honorable Deputy Minister, ABFA. What you have done, and again, you tell the people of Ghana that you have uncapped NHIL and GET Fund. That's not true. Let me show you why it's not true. It is the Earmarked Funds Capping and Realignment Act. What that law says is that you cap 14 funds. And if you find that any fund requires its full allocation, you restore. That's what you have done. If you wanted to uncap, you know what you do? You repeal the whole legislation. Why have you not uncapped all the 14 funds? This will be nothing to write home about. You told us between pages 3 and 20, economic program. Honorable Deputy Minister, let me have your attention. You told us that your economic program will be built on 3 foundational pillars: the economic transformation agenda, the economic recovery program, and the 24-hour economy. Right at the dispatch box, your boss, the finance minister, has admitted that the 24-hour economy part of it, they are not ready to even lay it before this House. Sunday, you brought in Mr. Guzitando to do an informal presentation, and he himself admitted that he has some further work to do, and then he will bring it here. You have brought us an economic policy. The economic recovery program, that's the foundation. The economic transformation agenda, that's the foundation. The 24-hour economy, that's the foundation. You have not finished preparing it. Who built the first floor when they haven't built the foundation? Which contractor built the first floor when they haven't built the foundation? And let me show you the effect. That is why when we go into your economic policy, there's no coherence with your manifesto. You made 273 economic promises in your manifesto, 273 of them. If we prorate your 4-year period, each year you should be doing about 68 of them. Do you know how many of your economic promises you have responded to in this first economic policy? Do you know the number? I'm not sure you have read the budget. You haven't counted. You have only responded to 25 of your economic promises. Mr. Deputy Minister, that is just about 36%. If you continue at this rate, by the time this year is over and by the time your tenure is over, you will be doing less than 20%. And let me tell you why. Because even when you roll out programs as government, not all of it succeeds. I've told you that we've been in government before. The MPP in the first year rolled out free SHS, 1D, 1F, 1 village, 1 dam. Even those ones that we started early, look at the challenges that we faced. And so, Honorable Deputy Minister, we are drawing your attention, this is free feedback to you, that you need to find more coherence between your economic policy and your own manifesto. Else, by the time your tenure is done, you would have disappointed yourself. The second point I want to draw your attention to is that your budget, even the one that you brought, your budget, it betrays your priorities. You see, like they say, don't tell me what your priorities are. Show me your budget, and I will see what you value. This budget that you have brought is the budget in which you have told us, first of all, that you value Ghanaian women so much that you are going to set up a bank for them, the Women's Development Bank. You have put $51 million allocation, 51 million cedis, 51 million cedis allocation in this budget for the Women's Development Bank. And then you have put 70 million cedis for research at Jubilee House. You see your priorities? The budget is beginning to betray your priorities. You give all of the women in Ghana who are looking for this bank 51 million, and then you give research at the office of the president 70 million Ghana cedis. You are beginning to see your priorities. Honorable Deputy Minister, you told us that something has happened that's never happened. The president has gone to negotiate minimum wage. How much? 10%. By the way, the previous administration did way better, 25% plus. But while you are increasing minimum wage by 10%, you have increased the compensation budget at the Office of Government Machinery by over 720%. Over 720%. This is what the leader of the minority said, that very soon we will see the true colors of the umbrella. You see, your priorities are beginning to show. You need not less than about 1 billion Ghana cedis to close the infrastructure gap within senior high schools. You say you don't have fiscal space, you don't have money for it, but you have found 4.1 billion cedis to buy gold. Gold that was being bought from liquidity that was being brought into the jurisdiction by foreign companies that wanted to buy the gold. Now you want to take taxpayers' money, 4 billion Ghana cedis, to go and buy gold. Are you seeing your priorities now? You have made available 100 million Ghana cedis for capital expenditure at the Office of Government Machinery. What are you buying there? More cars or what? 100 million Ghana cedis for capital expenditure. And yet, you say to the young people of this country that there is no space. Paragraph 478. That's why I'm worrying whether you've read it. Paragraph 478. You say there's no fiscal space to recruit young people into the public service. But you find 100 million Ghana cedis for capital expenditure, to buy cars and other things. Are you seeing where your priorities are? If I take you into a further analysis of your own numbers, Honorable Deputy Minister, your own numbers. Like my brother John Jinapo used to say, Mr. Speaker, we have run the regression analysis and the correlation analysis on this side, and we know all the figures. I'm happy he's here in the chamber. Mr. Speaker, we have also run the analysis. If you look at compensation allocations, Honorable Deputy Minister, do I have your attention? You will find that for the Office of Government Machinery, you have allocated 2.7 billion for compensation. By the way, when it was 327, you used to complain and do press conferences. Now it's 2.7 billion. But what is even more worrying, the economic sector ministries, 7 of them, the ones that are responsible for generating growth, expansion of the economy and jobs for people, you have given them